Hey guys, Mary from SVGCuts here with some brand new box cards. I think a lot of these will work really well for Father's Day, which is coming up soon here in the US. Definitely not just for guys, but also great for guys. If you've never made a box card before, or if you haven't seen one, the cool thing about them, all of these cards, is that they fold flat to go inside their envelope, and then they pop out and look totally dimensional. So each one of them fits inside its own little custom envelope, which is a huge wow factor when you give it to someone. They're really going to be impressed with what you made for them yourself. And every time I give someone a box card, they're always like amazed and think it's the coolest thing ever. I've been thinking about these for a little while. I thought it would be so much fun to make French fries as a box card, because who doesn't love some good junk food, especially when you're having a good time hanging out with family and friends. The paper that I used this time is by one of my favorite paper artist named Stephen Duncan, and he made this paper for Cartabella. It's called Are We There Yet? Love it, love it, love it. Everything he does I just love, but whatever paper you have in mind that you're going to use, I'm sure is going to look awesome, and I can't wait to see the different spin that you put on your box cards. I've got all my pieces cut out to show you how each one goes together, so let's get started. For our pizza box card, I'm going to, I've got the back panel here. I'm rubbing a red ink pad around the edge. I stamped on this with this wood block set from Hero Arts. It says on the product page for these cards exactly the name of it. And then I rubbed a red ink pad around the edges of it. So I'm also going to take some kind of a straight edge, could be a pen or whatever. Happen to have my bone folder handy, so giving it a little bit of a curve. It's kind of cute. And then I've got the top and bottom panels. They're going to go on the inside of our card, which I'm rubbing a red ink pad on also, as well as on this big shape. So this big shape is going to go on the inside of our card, like this. I'm going to glue this on the top and this on the bottom, and then I'm going to glue this inside like this. And then the back side of that red shape shows through the cutouts of the card, which is where the back panel goes in the center of. So we might as well go ahead and glue our back panel on the back side. And then I can fold these over like this, and this, and this here, and this goes like this. I'll put some glue on the side tab here and glue this, and then I'll glue this here. And it would probably be a pretty cute idea to rub a little bit of a light brown around the edges of this. It's just something I like to do. It's totally optional, and for this I really like to use these inks. They're cat's eye shaped inks from Colorbox, and I use them on pretty much everything. I just think it adds a nice touch really to any project, and it's nice to have a lot of different colors, a couple different stacks. So next I'll glue my panels down onto this red piece. And as far as pizza boxes go, I think anything that has like a red and white and brown theme looks really pizza box-ish. Maybe with one accent of blue or one accent of green. So then to glue this inside, I'll just put some glue like this, and then carefully center this inside. And then I happen to have some glue dots handy. These are dimensional dots. They're called Zots, 3D Zots by Thermoweb. I like to use them for adding dimension, making something kind of pop off the page. So I'll use those to make this a little more dimensional. And then I'll close up the box shape with some glue here. And this is how our cute little box is going to sit. So all that's left to do now is put the pizza in the center, as well as, So all that's left to do now is put the pizza in the center. I got some ink down there, but we'll just ignore that. Our pizza is going to cover it up. And then I'll put my little slice on the side. So once you have those assembled, all you want to do is just glue that down. If you want to make it dimensional like I did, I used some dimensional dots. They're called 3D Zots by Thermoweb. I used that underneath my pizza to make it stick up a little bit more. And then I just glued this guy. Once you glue on the crust and your toppings, however you would like them, you'll just put some glue here and glue that down. So to do the toppings in the pizza, I rubbed an ink pad around a lot of these little topping shapes, and you can use whichever ones you want. If you want to, customize your pizza, you can do that. So I rubbed a brown ink pad around the edges of the crust and kind of around the edge of the cheese, like 2 different colors of brown. You do not have to do that if you want to. I think it looks cool, but it's going to be totally cute if you just glue it together also. So I rubbed, dark green around the little peppers and dark brown around the pepperoni and the sausage. So here's how mine looks when it's inked. You can see on some of the little sausage how it looks a little more dimensional when you rub a dark brown ink pad on the edges of some of them. So once you have your pizza looking however you want, you can glue it inside like this and glue this onto here. Next, for our envelope, we want to fold all 4 flaps in, and then these 2 sides get folded in. Then you can fold your bottom up, or if you want the other side to be the bottom, it's really up to you. I designed it for this to be the bottom, and then you just put some glue on the bottom of the side tabs here and fold this up. Then to fold your card flat, we want to fold this little guy up, and then fold your pizza up, and then carefully flatten it out. You want to fold this side in and the top down. Then you can carefully put it inside your envelope just like that. Next, for our box of fries, or side of fries box card, I've got the pieces laid out here, and I went ahead and stamped on the smaller circle and this bigger one, and I'm going to go ahead and glue that right onto the front of this piece here, and then I'll glue that right onto my blue piece, just like this. And then I've got the box card piece here, the card base, and normally I cut the card bases out in general with solid colored paper like I did here with this one, but I thought it might look cute with some kind of red and white stripes going on, so I did that for that. We'll get to the fries in just a minute, and this insert is also out of that paper. So this part here is the back panel. I'm going to go ahead and glue that onto the back. And then I'll glue my circle that I stamped on right in the center of the back. And then I'll glue this front piece onto the front right here so that the edges line up. Next, I'm going to put some glue on the side tab here of this piece and bend that around and glue that to the other side so that the corners line up right here. Next, for our fries, I'm going to take a light brown ink pad. This is a stack of cat's eye inks from Colorbox.
That's what I use quite a bit for my inking. So this is a bit more of a darker brown, maybe a lighter brown, some kind of medium-ish brown I think is perfect. And I'm going to just rub that on the edges of most of them. Even just on one edge is fine. And then I'm going to carefully bend them slightly in half. And then this piece is going to get glued right inside the front of our card. And then the next layer is this with this little guy, and we're going to glue that right onto this insert. So I'll rub a ink pad on the edges, maybe just of one side of each fry, both sides, whatever you feel like. And then I'm going to glue that right onto my insert before I bend each one. And then before it's too much completely dry, I'm going to carefully bend each fry. Then if you want, you can accent that bend with a little more brown ink. And then we'll glue this little guy. I'll bend him up there. Put some glue down here and glue that right about here. Wherever you want is totally fine. And then finish up the back side. And then we're going to glue this right inside the back. You could glue it, or if you want, you could use some dimensional dots. I like to use these clear adhesive dots from Thermal Web. They're called Zots. And they're very sticky, but they also add a little bit of dimension, so you can pop something off of, just pop something off, make it look more dimensional. So I'll just glue that right inside. And then we can glue our insert into place with some glue on both of these tabs. And just carefully put that inside with the tab, the back of the tab flush with the back of the box on both sides. And before it's completely dry, make sure it's going to fold flat. Super cute. So now to make your envelope, you want to fold these two sides in and put some glue on them. And fold the bottom up. Then when you carefully fold your card flat, you can put it inside and close the top. You can seal it with some glue or a sticker or whatever you'd like. For the taco truck box card, I've got part of the card base here. It looks like this, and I bent it this way. I bent this flap down, which is the back. I glued this little panel here as well as this large panel here, and then I stamped on this and I glued that in the center. And then I've got the front of it, and I went ahead and glued my tires together, which are 3 layers. We've got the large silver circle on top of the hubcap, on top of the tire, on both sides, and I glued those down. And then I've got this insert here, which looks like this. You want to fold this towards you and fold this towards you, and then fold the 2 ends back like this. And then I went ahead and glued this little sign on here, which I stamped on. And then there's 2 more little signs that look like this. I'm just going to go ahead and do the same thing with my little sign that I did for my original box card. And these are some cute little brads and chipboard elements that coordinate with the paper. And then I took a little white gel pen and I made it look like kind of like a little chalkboard. So if your sign is black like this, You can write on it with a little gel pen and do whatever you want. Just something kind of whimsical and cute. Couple little dots here and there, kind of cute. We've also got this little small piece, which is going to go behind the door handle. It makes it look more dimensional. So just glue that right back there. Then I also went ahead and glued my little license plate onto this chrome piece here. And then I also cut my truck panels out of the same shiny silver paper that I used for the other shiny parts. So on my original one, I've got several shiny parts, and then I also cut this is orange on this card. On my new one that I'm making, this part is also going to be chrome. We can go ahead and glue these into place, but in my case, I'm going to emboss these the way that I embossed this back panel. You can use totally different paper. You don't need to use the paper that I'm using, but that's what I'm going to do. So to do that, I'm going to put my shape inside my embossing folder, and it's a little bit too big, but that's okay. I'm just going to go for it anyways. And this embossing folder is by Cartabella. It's part of the, well, it's called Bold Plaid by Cartabella. And there's all kinds of embossing folder systems out there. This one happens to be the Sizzix Big Shot, which is what I use, and it looks pretty cool. So I'm going to do that to the other small pieces that I'm using on the front of my card also. So I've got them inside there, put it in there the way that it's supposed to go, and crank it, and some pretty cool texture. So like I said, my original truck was green with orange panels. This one is orange with chrome panels. And if you want to make yours exactly like I made mine originally, you can always check your PDF download that came with your download, the PDF document that came with your download. If you take a look at it, it tells you exactly which papers I used on my original one in case you want yours to be the same or you're curious. So as you can see, this is bent right here and the door is bent. So we want to line all that up and glue that down also. Next we can take our awning, and it's folded like this except for the back side gets folded up. And then we can put some glue on it, and you want to line it up just about here so that it's kind of lined up with this little indentation where your top is going to go up here like this. Next, for our insert, I'm going to go ahead and glue my two cute little salsas onto this chrome piece. And then I'll put some glue on this long area here and glue that onto the front of this shape. I almost forgot my cute little door panel, which goes right on the bottom of the door here. And then on the inside of this piece, we can glue this back panel. Then I'm going to flip it over and glue this long rectangle onto the bottom of the back of the truck, which is right here. And then I can glue my license plate right in the center down there. And then I can glue these tiny circles on either side of it. those guys are the tail lights, so I'm going to find some cute little silver dots to add as little accents. Maybe something smaller would be even better, but I think it'd be cute to put something like this on there. I'm gonna go with these little white doodads, white diamonds from Queen & Company, which, as you can see, I discovered them and I stocked up like crazy on all their amazing little embellishments. They have lots of different styles, lots of different little colors. I got mine from a cherry on top, but I also got some of them in person at the Scrapbook Expo in St. Charles, Illinois, a couple years ago when I went there and saw them. So I'm going to glue these two segments together with some glue on the side there, and then glue this together like this. And then I'll close it up with some glue on this tab and glue that into place. Then before it's completely dry, it's a good idea to make sure it's going to fold flat. And then I'm going to take a dimensional dot. This is an adhesive, a 3D dot called a Zot by Thermal Web. And I'm going to use that to kind of make this sign look a little bit more dimensional. Popping off the back there. Then for this little banner, I actually stamped it. I've got it actually going the wrong way. It's supposed to go this way, but I stamped over here, so I'm just gonna put that over here, maybe with a cute little embellishment next to it. And once again, using my favorite little go-to 3D dots, these Zots by Thermal Web. I've been addicted for a while now. So then for the bumper, I'm just going to glue it in the center part, because if I glue the sides down also, it's not going to be happy when it needs to fold flat. So we can glue that right there. And then our final two chrome circles that are left. So I'm going to put some sparkly stuff on the front on these headlights. Actually, a little smaller would have been perfect. So what I meant to put red on the back and white on the front, but that's okay. So next we can insert our insert piece. So I'll put some glue on both of those and carefully put that inside so that the back of the tab is flush with the back of the box, and so that it sits right inside, just underneath the top. Before it's completely dry, let's bend our table up straight to get it out of the way, and then carefully make sure that the whole thing will fold flat both ways. And then you can stick your little table back out like this. So now all that's left is to put our little tiny cute little taco together. So as you can see, it folds like this, and the front is a little bit shorter than the back so that you can kind of see inside better. I put some little dots on it to make it look more like a shell. And same with the vellum, the front is a little bit shorter than the back so that you can see inside a little bit better. You can just glue that onto it like this. And then you can layer up your little toppings on the inside. However you think looks cute. Definitely want to start with the taco meat. And put your lettuce, or however you want it. You can obviously customize it if you would like. Throw some lettuce in there. You can kind of crinkle it up if you want. Crinkle up the lettuce a little bit. That would be cute. Get it all going. And then, if you want, you can put some little red embellishments on there if you would like to make it look like tomatoes. So, I just want to carefully glue this at a right angle so that it is going to fold flat, and just let it dry right in there on the inside. So like I said about the tomatoes, if you wanted to add, I put some little blingy droplets in there if you want to do the same thing. So finally, for our envelope, we want to fold all 4 flaps in, and then fold these 2 side flaps in and put some glue on the bottom of them, and fold the bottom flap up. And then to insert your card, you want to carefully fold your little table up inside and kind of fold your awning down flat, and carefully maybe open up your taco or close it up or something. Either way, so that it folds flat, and then you can insert your card into your envelope. Then when you're ready to close it up, you can glue it or seal it with a sticker. Next, for our to-go coffee cup box card, I have the pieces laid out here, and it's pretty simple. This is the main part of it, and then there's these 3 panels that go on the front and the sides, and then the back panel, and then these circles are the same and they go inside these. I went ahead and stamped on them with one of my new favorite stamp sets. It's from Mama Elephant. It's called the Mini Messages set, and it kind of covers all kinds of occasions, but I love it because they're tiny and I have a tendency to want to stamp on small stuff. So you just stick them right on here, and then I use black ink, and I keep it pretty straightforward. So that's what I did there. So then we've got the coffee here, which is going to go on this little insert. We'll just glue it right onto here. And then I have this, which I cut out of vellum, and you could, my machine kind of goofed up right here, but you could either glue it on. I used some glue dots on my first one, and I think glue might even be better because it'll be less obvious. So I'm going to go ahead and glue these together like this. I'm going to glue my panels into place right here, with this being the back. And then I'll put my little circles inside, just like that. So I went ahead and glued my panels onto my card, and I glued the coffee and the steam onto here. And I did it just with this glue that I use all the time. It's by Scotch 3M. I think it's amazing for paper, dries quickly, love it. You can definitely kind of see it through the vellum, so maybe you know about something that's less visible. Maybe some glue dots or something would work a little bit better. Or if you want, you could glue it behind the coffee if you're worried about it, showing. So there's that. And then I've got the lid pieces here, which are decorative. All 3 of these are the same. And I rubbed a light brown ink pad around the edges of them just to kind of define the shape a little bit. So I'm going to put some glue on the back of this and glue it right in the center of any of these 3. And that's going to go right on the front of my card. And then I'll glue the other 2 on. One goes on the back. Then the other one goes on the inside of the back, just like this. Next, we can close up the card base with some glue on this side tab here. Make sure it's going to fold flat by gently folding it back and forth both directions. And now we can glue this inside. So this is going to go right inside of our card with these tabs flush with the back of the box, and it's just going to go right in the center. So I'll put some glue on both of those. And put that right inside, like so. And before it's dry, I'll make sure that it's gonna fold flat. And there's our card. So it would be cute with a little button or something, or maybe tie some twine around the front of it. Super cute. And then for our envelope, this is what it looks like. You want to fold these two sides in and this large bottom up. And then you can put some glue on the sides and fold that up into place. Then you can carefully put your card inside, like so. For our vintage gas pump box card, I've got the main part of the card here, and it gets folded like this. And then these bottom parts get folded up. So if you have a bone folder or a way to really crease them sharply, that's helpful. It's okay if you don't have a bone folder, you can just crease it as best you can, but if you do, it's kind of helpful to crease them nicely. And then I'll go ahead and put some glue on those and glue those up. So on my original box card, that part was green, and then this part's red here. I cut it out of some different colors this time. So this is a different color of red that's gonna go down there. So if you want to do yours exactly like I did mine originally, if you look in your PDF document that comes with your download, you can see exactly which papers and colors I used. Then we've got these two panels that look like this. Those are going to go on the sides. So right here on this side, right centered. And I did take a brown ink pad and I rubbed it around the edges of a lot of these shapes, such as these that I'm gluing down, just to kind of accentuate the edges a little bit. And then I can glue my back panel into place, which I rubbed a blue ink pad around the edges of it. I just think that pretty much always looks nice, rubbing the edges with an ink pad. On my original one, I used this paper, and I rubbed a brown ink pad around it. And then I stamped on this piece, which we'll put on next. This is this one. So this card's going to be like a patriotic, summery looking Father's Day card. But you could, of course, make it for, birthday, retirement, congratulations, thank you, happy summer, happy 4th of July, really anything, depending on your paper and all that. So next I want to glue this shape behind this shape. So to do that, I'll just put a line of glue around the edge. And glue that right behind the top there. So next, I'm gonna do the same thing I did before with this little cute little brad dealio here, and it's actually a game spinner from Tim Holtz. It comes in a package like this. You can look on the product page for a link to it if you want to do the same thing. If you don't, it's still gonna be super cute. If you want to just put a button up there or a brad or something. This tool, I've had this for so long, I don't know if they still make it. It's from We Are Memory Keepers. It's for poking holes for brads. It's not necessary, but if you have something else sharp, that would also work. But it is handy when you want to get a hole started in a specific spot for a brad. And then I've also got some of these star brads from Doodlebug Design. I also got those quite some time ago. They might still have them, I'm not sure. But I've seen lots of cute star-shaped brads. So anyway, I want to put one here and one here because I think that's cute. So right now I'm just going to put one right here first. I think I'll go with red so it blends in a little bit. And then I'll go ahead and glue this right onto the front of my card. Next, on this little shape, I stamped on this with these cute little stamps from Mama Elephant called Mini Messages. I got these a couple months ago and I've been using them for like everything because they're so cute. There's so many different sentiments. There's Father's Day, Mother's Day, birthday, Christmas, all in one little package. So, and then on this little shape, I rubbed a blue ink pad around the edges of that, and I really want to use these cute brads, so I'm going to put this little guy inside also, and then I'll glue it onto this space right here. Next, I'm going to flip my card over and glue this panel onto the inside right here. And I went ahead and I rubbed a blue ink pad around the edge of this shape also, which is, it's always optional. You don't have to do that. I just think it always looks really nice. So next we can layer up this insert piece here with the circles that I cut out of it. So mine happens to be red and some more different shades of red. My original one was, green base with a large white circle glued onto the green, with another green and then a red with a little embellishment on there. So again, if you want to do yours exactly like my original one, you can take a look at your PDF document that came with your download, and that says what colors I cut each shape out of. But of course, you can always, change it up and do whatever you have in mind. So I'm going to layer these circles up on here, largest to smallest. And then on my original one, I put this little chipboard cute thing here. I'm just going to leave it plain on this one. So then what we can do is put some glue on this side tab here and close up our card. And make sure it's going to fold flat. And then I'm going to put some glue on these two side tabs. And I'm going to glue this inside my card. So that the back of the tab is flush with the back of the box on both sides. And so that it sits just right under the top of the side. So then before it's completely dry, just gently fold it back and forth to make sure it's going to fold flat. And I'm really loving how this looks in red. I think that's super cute. So finally, for our little pump and the ribbon here, I've got it's probably about a foot of ribbon. It's about a 1/4 inch wide. And I've had it in my stash for a long time. I'm not exactly sure where it's from, but anything similar that you want to use is going to look cool. So instead of trying to glue down ribbon, I'm going to use some little glue dots that I have. And I want this to go through this guy. And then I'll put a little bit of glue on this flap. Oh, not that much. And fold that over. And then I want it to pretty much loop down to about the length of the bottom. So I'll use another glue dot on it. And then I'll put a little bit of glue on my cute little pump here and glue that right down. And then to make your envelope, you want to fold these two sides in, and we're going to fold the bottom up. And really for most of these envelopes, it could go either way. This could be the bottom if you'd prefer, or this could be the bottom. So I want to put some glue on the bottoms of these side tabs and fold the bottom up. And then you can carefully fold your card flat. And slide that inside your envelope. Close it up. You could glue it or close it with a sticker.